Hi, this is Pee Wee Watson
And this is Kenny Soule,
from PKM,
PKM.
and you're listening to
Show us your pick with
Fruitcake Tony.
All right, we made it. Hey now,
Hey now.
Ed, we have liftoff, dude.
I thought my lighting was off. My camera's light wasn't on. Oh, there. I want people to see my pretty face. Okay, here we go.
There you
That's
go.
better. That is much better.
Ed, Happy New Year, dude.
Yeah, Happy New Year.
It's 2025, man.
Yep. Yeah, it's I'm glad 2024 is over, but yeah, I'm looking forward to the new year.
Me too. Absolutely.
So I don't have any resolutions though, so
Nah, me either. I
no,
used to, but yeah, they're usually unrealistic. Mine all were. So
yeah.
stop making them. You know.
Me too.
But yeah, no, I am motivated this new year. I'm really motivated to get out of this damn cold weather, Ed. The high
Oh,
today was nothing, and a wind chill, which
poor
made it less.
baby.
Yeah, no, man.
It's a
I'm
lot
ready
colder
for
up here.
spring.
When it's cold down there, it's a lot colder up here.
I know.
But
I know.
we're used to it. I know you want to golf. I know.
Mm-hmm.
But hey, no precipitation. That's the good thing as far
That
as,
is.
that four-letter word, I'm
I
glad
know.
we don't have that.
Ed,
Go ahead.
we are we're on January the 4th already, though.
Wow.
Our
Goes
month
by
is,
fast.
yeah. Brendan is not going to join us this evening, by the way. No,
He's a busy guy.
he is. He is. But he will be joining us next Saturday. He may check in, though, between now and then.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you glad to be in the new year, Ed?
Yes, I am. It's like you're just starting over almost. I know it's just a calendar date, but
Oh no.
I'm happy. I'm happy. It's 2025.
Yeah.
It's funny. Back when we were younger, you thought of 2025 as being space age and Jetsons and flying cars and all that fun stuff.
Yeah. I know.
But we're progressing.
We are. All right. So, Ed, this is show number 1, episode 232 here. Show me your pick. We are doing PKM tonight, and I am super excited about this one.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't blame you.
Yeah, absolutely. This is why we do this show right here.
Mhm.
Yeah. This band was huge back in the early 80s here in the rock scene in North Carolina on the East Coast when I was a young rock fan. And as you guys saw on the thumbnail, that is me there in the middle with Mr. Kenny and Pee Wee there. That was in 1982. So it's been a couple of years, Ed.
Look at that hair. Wow. Good for you. I had the same haircut.
These guys were this band spun from Nantucket. Okay.
Yep.
Pee Wee and Kenny were original members of that band. And they were successful here. We did a show with Nantucket here about a month ago. Eddie.
Yep.
But yeah, so when these guys hit, they really they hit hard here, Ed. But this is North Carolina, and our local radio station here. It's a country station, but then it was a rock station, WQDR. They played this unreleased local music, and but great songs, great songs. We didn't know any better. We were just young rock fans, okay? But they started playing these PKM songs on our local radio with all the other popular rock songs of the day. And we saw them in all the clubs around here at the fairgrounds, in Dorton Arena, in sheds. I've seen these guys countless times, more times than I can count, Ed.
I bet.
Yeah. They had an album out, Rock Erotica. We wore it out. I mean, flat wore it out. I think I grabbed another copy of it in recent years just because mine was so wore out. But you know, they are great songs. Great songs. And we are going to talk all about all of these songs. Pee Wee and Kenny are here with us tonight. Yeah. All right. Let me see here, Ed. Let's open up the chat, my friend, before we bring our special guest in.
Yeah. It's already moving along.
Let's see. I don't open my chat until we're already live. I don't like to peek around the curtain. All right, I'm gonna start here at the bottom. Guitar Man 45 in the house. What's up, Bo? Good to see you, dude.
Hey, Bo.
Christopher Live Soba. What's up, man? Happy New
Sova.
Year, dude. Monique in the house. Hello, ma'am.
Hi, Monique.
Happy New Year, Monique. Good to see you.
Yeah.
All right, let's scroll it on upward. John DeShane in the chat. What's up, John? Good to see you, sir.
What's up, John?
Right on. Raymond in the chat. Hello, Raymond.
Hey,
Happy
Raymond.
New Year to you. Welcome, OU812. Ryan in the chat. What's up, man? Good to see you, Ryan. Ryan's the captain of the OU812 YouTube crew. Find the link down below there. They're friends of ours. We watch them on Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday here on YouTube, live streaming. They play guitar and yeah,
Best tone on the
good
internet.
stuff. Yes, sir. Genocide, what's up? Happy New Year. Good to see you, ma'am.
Hey, Genocide.
Papa Blue in the chat. What's up, Papa?
Papa. What's up?
Cameron Dean, what's up, Cameron? Good to see you, man. Happy holidays to you. Ian's Guitar Shack, what's up, Ian?
Hey, Ian.
Good to see you, man. All right, I think we are to the top. If you are just joining, say hello in the chat. It's Saturday night. It's January 4th, 2025. Man, we're halfway through a decade there, Ed. Cutting
Don't
a
rush
knife
it.
through it already. I'm not. I'm not. Yes, it is freezing in North Carolina. It is freaking cold and windy. And today barely got above freeze 35, I think. Yeah. Sucks.
Hey, Ed Strickland and John Moronic. Hello.
There's John. Good to see you again, John. Ed, welcome, sir. Good to see you. All right.
They're filing in.
Yes. Go Pack.
Hello.
There he is. Right on. Welcome. Yeah, long live PKM. All righty. So, without further ado, Ed, let's bring in our special guest. Ladies and gentlemen, Pee Wee Watson and Kenny Soule from PKM. There they are.
Hello. Hello. Jake.
Gentlemen,
How are you?
Hello.
welcome.
Thank you. Thank
Nice
you.
to be here.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, man. So good to see you guys. Pee Wee and Kenny, you know how much of a fan I am of you guys and your music since we've spoken here in the past few weeks. And I'm so excited to have you guys on and to see you guys. I met you guys a couple of times back in the day. Thank you. I want to tell you, thank you so much for all the great music that you've given us.
Our pleasure.
It's been over 40 years, and those songs have been here with us, with your old fans, for all that time. And now you guys have given us this great legacy.
That's right.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
you're talking about this.
Absolutely.
Oh,
With guitar pick.
wow.
You
Is that-
can get that CD and you can get the vinyl. There's two links down below. If you scroll down in the description, you can find a link so you can purchase Legacy on CD or vinyl.
And please do so we can pay for this shit.
So, guys, my goodness, me and my buds at the time, I think when I discovered you guys, when they debuted you on local radio here, WQDR in Raleigh, I was in middle school. I might have been in the 8th grade.
Oh shit, I was in the 9th grade, so it's okay.
But
Oh,
yeah,
can I curse? Was I supposed to curse? I'm sorry.
you can curse here. Yeah,
I
it's fine.
apologize. I
Fuck
fucking
yeah.
apologize.
You mean
Fuck
cut?
yeah.
Cuss, yeah,
Cuss.
cuss.
Yeah. We drop F-bombs here sometimes.
Yeah.
You don't have,
accidentally, but
you don't
yeah.
have a jar. You don't have a jar that every time someone cusses, you got to put some money in the jar. That's what Prince had.
That's
Oh,
a good idea.
nice.
I think Tony would lose.
When he became a Christian Scientist or something.
Yeah,
or
yeah.
Jehovah's Witness.
Oh, Jehovah's Witness.
Yeah. No, suddenly no cussing, so he had a jar where.
And that motherfucker stayed full too, man.
So guys, we're going to go back to how you guys got into music, how you got into Nantucket, how that started. But I want to tell you guys, me and my buds, and there are a couple of PKM fans, buds of mine who are not here any longer, who were intimate with these songs as well. And you guys made quite a splash. WQDR debuted Long Night one night. I don't recall that particular night, but I remember It Don't Take Much ended up in heavy rotation there, and what they would call heavy rotation for the time,
Yeah.
the popular songs in 1981 like that. But these these songs, Give Me a Call, there were we had two, three, four songs here on local radio of you guys that weren't even on a
No,
album yet.
you couldn't even go buy them. No.
Right.
In fact, the tape that QDR was playing, they made carts for them because that's what they did at the time. But we had taken them a reel-to-reel tape of a demo that we made at a friend's house and that's what they were playing.
Wow.
Arthur Smith.
I wonder if there were any bootlegs going around back then that people, tape off the radio your songs onto cassette.
People did it.
I'm sure.
People did it, and people would sit and wait until they knew that at drive time and certain times in the evening and stuff like that we were going to be played. So they would sit there and wait with their boombox, to tape the damn thing. And we're grateful for it. We don't care how it ended up in their possession. We were just grateful to be heard and be appreciated.
Well, those songs were great songs. Don't Take Much, Give Me a Call, Long Night, Hot Town Tonight. We knew these songs like we knew Unchained and You Shook Me All Night Long,
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, Tony, you did. I'm upset that I haven't heard of these guys. Are probably the best band I've never heard of. Until recently. Recently, when you started to talk
Right.
about them.
That's well said.
Last few months, the best band I've never heard of, and I'm upset that I missed 40 years of listening to them.
Yeah.
I really wish that I would have heard of them, a lot sooner.
So do we.
Yeah, I bet.
We should have gotten up your way, man, but we never did.
Yeah, it's unfortunate.
We're going to get into all of the PKM stuff and all of these songs. We're going to dive into every song off of Legacy. And again, you can get your copy of Legacy. There's two links down below that you can order it on CD or vinyl. All the old songs from Rock Erotica are here, plus all the old live staples that y'all love. Your Eyes, America Loves Foot, they're all here. Okay. And there's new stuff that we have never heard that is on here also. So, yeah.
And I think that the stuff that we recorded and written, we had learned how to craft songs, like the third or fourth year into the band. We were really getting good at crafting songs. So personally, I think that some of the later material that was never released before, I thought it was some of our best songs, actual songs and recordings. But that's just me.
Yeah. Again, when you look down and you see those two links to get the CD and to get the vinyl, under it, there is another YouTube link, PKM Live at the Attic in 1984. If you guys do not know who PKM is, give a minute listen to a couple of these songs that we're talking about there and get a vibe for them live. So yeah.
That was a great.
Yeah. A friend of ours who lives in Nashville now does a lot of video work. He did was it 4 or 5 camera shoot on that show and edited it. the whole thing.
Yeah, we brought in a big lighting rig.
Yeah.
And, got it recorded on 16 track. And yeah.
Yeah. I'm glad it's up on YouTube. There's not a lot of PKM stuff. A couple people have stuff, the Rock Erotica up, but that Attic show, that Live at the Attic, that is, to PKM fans, that's our Live Without a Net right there.
Yeah.
It was ours too.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
No, we were. That was a period where we really were cooking on all. We were hitting on all cylinders. We really were. No, especially live, because we played all the time, and we were constantly experimenting. So that was probably our peak as far as performance goes. So it was a lot of fun. I'm really proud of it, man.
Yeah.
For three guys, we could make a lot of noise.
Yes, you absolutely could. Let me ask you both to go back. How did you both get into music, drums and bass and such, as young guys?
Me, well, I grew up in a family. Both sides of my family, my mother and father, everybody played and sang. And my father's side of the family was really into country music and bluegrass and stuff like that. And so I grew up listening to that, listening to rock and roll, listening to big band stuff. And I never really thought about playing rock and roll, but I was around these people that played guitar and sang all the time, and I was kind of fascinated by it. I became a brass player in school, through high school. Enjoyed that, but when I was 12, and then the Beatles, I saw the Beatles on Ed Sullivan, and that kind of focused me. That told me that, this is what you need to be doing in your life.
Mm-hmm.
So that kind of focused my life from that point on. And when I was 12, I had a friend of mine in the neighborhood called and asked me, said, "Hey man, can you play bass?" I'd never even held one before. I said, "Sure." So I borrowed one from somebody and learned and played on it one day and did a gig, and that's where it started for me.
Didn't look back.
No, it didn't.
Yeah. I grew up in a musical family too. It was more classical music, and so my first instrument was violin in the 3rd grade, and then in the 5th grade I switched over to piano. I had a really cool babysitter who showed me a lot of piano stuff. And then by the time the Beatles hit Ed Sullivan, I knew that I had to get on some drums. So it was just too exciting.
Yeah.
So yeah. So that was when I was in, I guess, must have been 6th grade when the Beatles came on Ed Sullivan. And I started being in bands about 6 months after owning my first drum set.
Yeah.
So, yeah, man, we did a lot of British Invasion stuff.
Right.
And I did a lot of soul music.
Yeah, so did I.
We played a lot of R&B stuff in our day. Me and Pee Wee both.
Yeah.
Big bands that had horn sections and stuff. So the PKM was we had never been in a band with that few people in it.
Yeah, we had always been in really large. The least amount of people I was ever in a band with was 5 people. That was the very least. I was always in bands with 6 and 7 and 8 and 9 people, and like Kenny said, doing a lot of R&B, stuff like that, and it was a real learning experience, because I got to experience, James Brown or Otis Redding, and I, immediately I knew that it's the groove. The groove really matters. That's what moves people. That's what touches, people's toes.
Yeah.
So we had all these different influences, but they were all kind of the same. So they really influenced what we did later on.
Yeah.
So absolutely, man. I'm lucky enough to have seen James Brown back in his heyday when he was a real force, especially in the Black community, he was a real force. And I saw him, Ed, you might appreciate this, at the Springfield, the fairgrounds.
Oh, really?
Springfield, Mass, where they do the Eastern States Exposition.
The Big E.
Yeah, the Big E.
Yep.
I saw him in that place, and he caused a riot. I mean, the place just went nuts, and I was up in the back going, "Wow, look at this! You can do this."
Yeah,
So,
and I saw James Brown at a place called the Tidewater Auditorium, which held it was in Hampton, Virginia, which held 4,000 people, and there was me and 3,999 Black folks there, and I was just blown away. Just absolutely blown away. He had 2 drummers and 2 bass players. Oh my God in heaven.
Yeah.
That place was just the funk was just dripping off the walls.
Yeah.
Man.
But the energy level too.
Yeah.
And so that for me, I never saw anything, or I never experienced that until a few years later when I heard when Larry Uzell had that 8-track in his car, the first Grand Funk Live album. Which is a hell of a record, and so I said, "Here's the audience going nuts one more time! Wow, listen to that!" So we that informed PKM. All those things definitely informed PKM.
Right.
Yeah.
So when did your paths first cross?
Well, I saw Kenny. I was playing in a club in Virginia Beach with a band called the Gas House Gang, and somebody said, "Hey man, there's a pretty good band down at this other place, Rogues Gallery." So I went down there on a break, and it was Nantucket. I'd never heard of Nantucket.
We only played there once. That's when you went?
Yeah.
Wow.
And I thought, man, these guys are pretty good, and the songs are pretty cool, but the drummer is the shit. So I filed that away in my brain. And then Kenny can tell you the first time he saw us and we met.
Yeah. So just for the record, Pee Wee came into Nantucket later.
Yeah.
For the 3rd album. But anyway, but when he's talking about seeing us early on, that was maybe 74.
75, I think.
Yeah. It was 74 because we had just gotten back together after being in a bad wreck, and the band didn't play for 2 months.
Right.
But then we would run into on the circuit. There was a circuit of clubs that there was a handful of bands that gradually got to know each other because everyone was playing the same clubs, and on our nights off, we'd go see another band play the same. So Pee Wee was playing with this killer band called High and Mighty by that time, and they were wonderful. You're based in what? Roanoke? Roanoke,
loosely, actually Virginia Beach.
Yeah, okay.
That's where we're all living.
But they were another band who loved soul music and loved rock music, and so they had a great guitar player and horns. So we were going, yeah, these guys speak our language, because Nantucket was kind of like that. We had some horns and we had 2 guitars. So we both came from the same places, and after a while, and there was another band on the circuit called Wide Open.
Yeah, Fresh, Wide Open.
First they were called Fresh, then they were called Wide Open, and they had a great guitar player named Mike Gardner. And so
and a great keyboard player named Kenny Hairston.
Yeah.
Who went on to play with people like Nona Hendrix and
Cyndi Lauper.
Cyndi Lauper.
Yeah.
Wow.
So we were gradually in the mid 70s, we were all running into each other and getting to know each other. And I think one time I came to a High and Mighty sound check at the Treehouse in Charlotte, and y'all got me up, and me and you first played then.
Oh, is that right?
Just the 2 of us at the High and Mighty sound check.
Wow.
And that was fun. And then, so by the time Nantucket needed a bass player by the 3rd album, and I said, we got to get Pee Wee. So Pee Wee joined Nantucket for the Long Way to the Top album. and we did the album together, and we did the tour with AC/DC. You know, when Back in Black was #1, we were the opening act on about half of their U.S. dates. So that was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Wow.
But what happened right before that tour started was that Mike Gardner called Pee Wee and I up on the phone and said, "Look, I'm in LA, but I'm coming back to Charlotte to record my demos because I have a publishing deal. Would you guys play on my demos?" So we said sure, and we rehearsed. Was it just once?
Yes.
At the Nantucket practice place.
Yeah, just once.
They let us, try out our thing in the Nantucket practice place, and immediately, just within the first 5 minutes, the three of us looked at each other and went, "Okay." It was that good, like right off the bat.
Wow.
Nice.
Click.
I think it was
Clicked,
Hot Town Tonight might have been the first one we played.
It might have been
Nice.
Yeah.
And so then, we got the next day, Kenny and Mike and I piled into a car and went down to Charlotte, the old Arthur Smith studio, and recorded 4 songs, I think it was, for a demo for Mike. And then a couple of days later, we came back to Raleigh, and a couple of days later, Kenny and I had to leave to go out on a tour with Nantucket. And we didn't talk about it the whole time we were out on tour, but we both had a cassette of the demos that we had done. And we got to Long Beach on the AC/DC thing, and Gardner came out. He came down from Orange County because that's where he was living.
Yeah, he's from Goldsboro, but he had moved to California.
Yeah. And so he came to the Long Beach show, and we went out to a club after the show and stuff, the Starwood. And we were kind of playing pinball, and we just kind of stopped and looked at each other and said, "Hey, what are we going to do here?" And we all agreed, man, we need to do this. We need to follow our hearts on this. And so that's basically what we did. We just decided to do this 3-piece thing, which was, it was kind of risky at the time, but then again, we just wanted to follow our instincts and our hearts, So it was nothing against anyone else. It's just something that we had to do.
Right. That was the hunch I actually had all these years anyway. I kind of thought, well, there was no animosity, there was no reason there, but those it was magic in those songs. And I want to ask you, I guess now's a good time.
Well,
those songs are magic.
Before you say that, you just mentioned a word that's really important to me: magic. And that's what the 3 of us, knew that first time that we rehearsed in the old warehouse. We just knew that there was a magic there. And that's something that I really wish for any musician who gets in a band type situation, that they could experience that type of communication and that type of magic that we had. I wish that on anyone.
Yeah.
So you got the goosebumps and everything?
Yeah.
You could tell. Yeah.
Goosebumps.
That's awesome.
The size of grapefruits, man.
Wow.
I told you a million times not to exaggerate.
So what was the big, as great as these songs are? I mean, great rock, hard rock, pop songs, the greatest written songs you could ever imagine, and it's a shame that the whole world doesn't know these songs. I feel lucky I know these songs, but like I say, if you've never heard these songs we're talking about, give a peek to the Attic shows, a link right down below there. Listen to a couple of the tunes that we're talking about. Don't Take Much, Give Me a Call have got to be probably my favorite of all time, although, Your Eyes and, America Loves Football are very, very, very close seconds, like that. But yeah, we know all of yours. Where did these great songs come from? How do you write great songs like this? Where do
Well,
these songs come from?
in our case, that whole initial batch was "Give Me a Call" was kind of a group thing,
Yeah, it was.
But Mike brought in 90% of those songs.
Hot Town and what's
Play
Don't Take Much and
Play It Cool. Well, no,
Play It Cool is kind of a group thing too.
well, I know that It Don't Take Much and Give Me a Call didn't come until a little bit later. I think when we finally got together to rehearse to start playing gigs, I think that's when we got those songs going.
Right.
Because the first batch was Long Night, Play It Cool, We Only Got Tonight.
Really?
Yeah. And there was one more. Might have been Your Eyes, but anyway.
Could have been.
So all of those didn't happen at once, but they came.
Mike basically had the idea. Either Mike or his brother Philip. Philip is a great writer, both literary stuff and musical stuff.
He's like our fourth member.
He was like the fourth member that nobody knew about. He was our fourth Beatle. Yeah. Phil's a great lyricist, and he has great musical instincts and ideas. So he would bring in stuff to us, ideas, snippets of this or that or the other, and we would just roll with it from there. Man, when we got ready to start playing, when Kenny and I finally left Nantucket and we fulfilled all of our obligations with them, we used a barred an old tobacco barn that a friend of ours was renting to rehearse in. And we went in there, the three of us, with borrowed equipment. We didn't have crap, except Kenny had some drums. And we rehearsed for like 12 days and either wrote or learned 16 songs so we could start playing. I mean, we were there 12 days, at least 12, 14, 16 hours a day, just playing. Yeah. And
those guys just let us use it, man. It was a band. It was their practice place. They're called Skeet Kelly.
Yeah.
Do you remember them? Tony, do you remember the Skeet Kelly band?
Okay.
I do not.
They're good guys. They're from around Garner, and they opened for us many times after that. But man, they let us, come in there and get our thing going.
Yeah, it was an old tobacco thing. A really small place, maybe 16 by 16. And it's no longer there. I think there's an apartment complex there.
Of course.
It's not there. But that's what we did, man. We would go in there with potato chips and soda and maybe something to expand your mind. And we would play 16 hours a day. That's what we did.
And we played our first gig at this place on Hillsborough Street that it was adjacent to what became the brewery. And it was called the Purple Horse.
Purple Horse, yeah.
Yeah.
Was that the first gig?
It became the Comet way later.
Yeah, right.
It became the Comet.
Mm-hmm.
But it was called the Purple Horse at first. Yeah.
So when you guys say that Mike had about 90%, of the stuff, did he have the melody and the lyrics, everything ready to go?
Well, Kenny's talking about those first batch of songs, first 4 or 5 songs.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. Well, he had a Don't Take Much, and that we learned later because he had written that in hopes that Rodney Crowell would do it.
Yeah.
Because Mike had that publishing deal going on the West Coast, so this publisher was was shopping those songs around to bigger artists, and Rodney passed on it, but we damn sure took it and closed all our gigs with it.
Okay.
Great. That song Don't Take Much. It is an anthem. I mean,
Yes,
of all your songs, it is the jump. It is the
blue collar national anthem.
It is absolutely don't take much. A warm bed, a hot woman, and a cold beer. You know how
Amen.
brilliant of lyric. That's a great lyric.
Yeah.
You know, the melody reminds me of Strutter from Kiss for some reason.
Uh-huh.
When I was listening to it, I know it's. I tend to group stuff together when I hear a band. I say, who do they sound like? They sound like somebody I know, or that,
Yeah, I
or
do
this song sounds like a song like I don't know. Reminds me of a Foreigner song. And
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's cool.
yeah, give me a call. Sounded like Stone in Love from Journey, for me.
Wow.
I don't know. I just tend to group stuff together like that,
Yeah.
and
we thought it sounded like the Raspberries.
Raspberries.
oh yeah,
Tonight
wow.
by the Raspberries.
Yes.
Wow. I had a question about My Kind of Girl.
Right.
Was that from experience? Somebody's experience, or was it just a?
That was Mike and Phil.
That was Mike and Phil. They
Okay.
wrote the lyrics to that, and Kenny and I just kind of helped them guys flesh it out. Was it a real experience?
Could have
maybe
been
someone's, but we don't know whose.
I was just wondering when I heard the lyrics, I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
I wonder if somebody experienced this and they wrote a song about it.
Well,
yeah, I love the way that song sounds on this new record. I think
absolutely.
it sounds badass.
Yeah.
The background vocals I think are terrific, man, on that song.
Yeah.
Eleanor Rigby was, boy, you guys. I like the way you redid that.
That was
when you listen to the Beatles version, it's fun and kind of pop. It was haunting the way you rearranged that.
Well, thanks, man. We appreciate that.
It sounded great.
Nobody could do it better than the Beatles.
Right.
Just it can't be done.
Right.
But ours was a whole different take on it. Yeah, we went more for the darker side of it and the more expansive, expressive, dynamic side.
Mm-hmm.
Because we were three guys.
Right.
So we had to make it larger than life. But yeah, I appreciate it. That was.
So here's the story on that. We were setting up our gear at a club in Charlotte that's long gone. Was it called J. Michaels?
Something like that, yeah.
J. Michaels. The when you walked in, you walked in and you didn't know it for when you walked in, but you were walking in under the stage.
The band.
So you turned around and looked up, and that's where the stage was, like about 10 feet up. That's where the stage was. Crazy. There's just a little ladder for you to push your gear up there. So, but anyway, we finally got set it up, and out of the blue, PV starts going, and we started singing it, and we just joined in, and the arrangement came right then in one flash of lightning.
You played that song live a lot. We knew that song, you guys doing it live.
We thought it reminded us of Vanilla Fudge.
Yeah, because Vanilla Fudge actually did a version of that song, but
did it?
Yeah, but I didn't think it was.
Some bitches.
I didn't think it was as good as ours. Nothing against the guys of Vanilla Fudge; they were terrific, man, just terrific. Their version of "Keep Me Hanging On" I thought was killer, dude.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I really kind of liked our take on it.
Yeah,
me too.
And Mike came up with these chord patterns that were amazing, and then we did all that vocal stuff at the end. I just really liked it. It came from, I had a version of that back, like in 1971 or 72 or something, that was just for a piano and 4 people singing. So that's where our originated.
I never knew that.
Yeah, well, stick around, you learn something, bud.
Now.
There you go.
Yeah.
So we got a couple guys.
Thanks for the compliment on that song, though, Ed. I appreciate it.
Yeah, you're welcome. It was beautiful. So a couple guys in the chat had some questions. They want to know if you remember the Ball 4 Lounge in Oxford.
Oh yeah.
In fact, that band Skeet Kelly opened for us a couple of times at that place.
Yeah.
Oh,
Ball 4.
there you go.
Yep.
Yeah.
Absolutely. We remember it.
Or the Roadrunners in Smithfield.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's where Bill Evans used to come see us.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's him, Bill Evans. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bill Evans, great guy, man. And maybe a larger PKM fan than you'll ever be, Tony.
Nice.
Whoa.
He's just like the biggest fan ever.
Yeah.
He's got an internet radio show that he does called Music Palace Radio that's real successful around the world, you know.
Right on. Welcome,
Yeah.
Bill.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's a good guy, man.
Welcome.
He plays
Nice.
the hell out of PKM.
Yes,
That's
he
where you
does.
can hear some PKM if you haven't bought our stuff now. Is on his radio show.
But if you haven't bought it, you need to.
That's right.
Yes, you do.
Yep.
Let me show them again. So
Show 'em.
Legacy, you can get it on CD, 2
Double
CDs.
CD.
Yeah, dude. Or you can get it on vinyl. There's links down in the description. You can find them. And there's another link, PKM at the Attic in 1984. Another great PKM show. There's so many PKM shows that are coming to my brain.
Mhm.
I
And
bet.
just one man's opinion. I think the CD sounds great, but dude, nothing sounds like vinyl.
It's true.
I'm telling you, the vinyl version of this to me just sounds
Yeah.
absolutely terrific.
It's worth going out and getting a turntable.
Yeah. And if you wanted the vinyl, you get it from Poorhouse Pressing, and they're a great story. And they've been in our corner since day one, since we started this. We were actually their first production release. They started a pressing plant they got the idea during the COVID thing.
Oh.
They were all into vinyl because they have a vinyl record store and a club that supports live music and has for 20 years.
Poorhouse.
The Poorhouse.
Wow.
Yeah. So they got the idea, Adam and Lacey Lindstadt, to start a vinyl pressing plant. And that's what they've done. They ordered all new machines and all kinds of gear and
it's big.
jumped through hoops for a year to get everything approved and
Permits.
yeah, all that kind of crap. And they did a freaking fantastic job.
Yeah.
So buy vinyl from them.
POUR, Poorhouse.
Yeah.
You'll see
Poorhouse
those
Pressing.
links. If you just scroll down, you'll see both of those links down in the description of this show. Let me ask you guys, we're going to go song by song. The first track on side one, Don't Take Much, the great anthem, the great PKM anthem. What I see about this, what I have always been used to for years and years upon years, is a fade at the end of Don't Take Much. But this is a different ending.
Yeah.
You want to tell me about it?
Well, this all began after Mike passed. I went down to South Carolina, to Myrtle Beach, to get some of the guitars that belonged to Mike so I could help his wife sell them because she needed to raise some funds. And I found all the old tapes there, all the multi-tracks. And that's kind of how this whole project started. And then Dick Hodgen, pretty damn well-known producer at Osceola Studios here in Raleigh, he volunteered to get involved. He really wanted to be involved with it. And then we started transferring these tapes, these 2-inch tapes, to digital so that we could remix everything. And we got to listening to that song, and, you know, Dick said, "Hey, was that a fade originally?" I said, "Yeah, man." He said, "No, we got to leave it like it is, man. It's just too bombastic."
I don't know why we faded it.
I have time limit to be put on vinyl.
Yeah. was a long time ago.
But yeah, so the more we listen to it, the more we like the way it was originally done. And it's just because there's such a theme that goes through the end of that song that you just don't want to turn it down. To
Yeah.
me, anyway, you just want to let it roll.
As a fan, you know exactly how many measures, and then the ending solo to "Don't Take Much." Don't forget about that.
Yeah,
And
it's all a theme that
right,
runs through that.
right, yeah. Um, but whose voice is that at the end that speaks? It don't take much.
That's Mike.
That's Mike.
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah. His little laugh, I thought that was great.
Yeah. So we've always known that Mike sings lead on some of the songs, and you, Pee Wee, sing lead on some of the songs. How
And
does that happen?
we both sing unison on a lot of the songs.
That's right.
Uh,
Right.
and we both sing harmonies on a lot of the songs. It just it was just instinct. That's how it happened. It was just instinct. And at the time, also, I had a much greater voice and a lot more range than Mike did. So we just figured that certain songs were more appropriate for me to do.
Yeah.
Than Mike.
And they had been in that band together, High and Mighty.
Yeah.
And you were singing stuff in High and Mighty.
Yeah.
So Mike knew what that that we have with PKM. We have 2 lead singers.
Yeah. Right. And we all knew that, and there were your songs, Pee Wee, and then there were Mike's songs, and we all knew them as such. I couldn't imagine you guys going on stage and Mike singing lead to Give Me a Call or
Yeah.
Well, that's because nobody else could sing that shit but me. No, it was really high, and that was one difficult song to sing. It really was, man. There were nights when I had to look back at Kenny because he was the only one that could sing higher than me, and get him to sing parts of that song. Sometimes he would have to sing the chorus because, we'd been playing for 2 or 3 nights, and I just physically couldn't do it. But we could switch off. We just look at each other and knew that we could switch off doing stuff, and that was a blessing, man.
Yeah. So the second track, Can't Have Too Much Fun.
Yeah.
Now, we've never heard this song. This song sounds to my ears like it was possibly done in the 90s. Is that right?
Nope.
No?
83, 82, 83, 84.
Yeah, it was a little bit later in our existence as a in the first run of the band. It was
and that's
maybe 84.
Yeah. That's one of those songs that I felt like we had come to learn how to craft songs. You know what I mean? And to me, it kind of reminds me a little bit of The Who, which was another influence that we had.
Yeah.
It just I had all these different influences.
And that song, that was Phil's lyrics.
Yeah, that was Phil's lyrics, Phil Gardner.
Yeah.
And we kind of took it and ran with it. But I love that song.
I think he said, Pee Wee, you should sing this. I think he actually said that.
Yeah, he may have.
Yeah, it sounds to me like reminiscent of maybe Styx.
Okay.
Yeah.
It could be there. It could be a lot of things, because there are so many different things going on in that song. Guitars and basses and different vocals everywhere. It could have been a lot of things. Could have been a lot of bands, or a lot of bands could have been us. Who knows?
There you go. They might have copied you.
Yeah, one could hope.
Yeah. Give Me a Call, the third track. We just spoke of that. Great song. When you can hum and whistle the melody, the chorus, I mean, that song gets stuck right here and stays there. It's such a great song.
Mike had the riff, didn't he? But
Yeah.
then you started just singing off the top of your head.
Yeah.
And it came together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, that was one of those songs where actually the three of us wrote the song.
Yeah.
You know, one guy would have this idea, another of us would have this idea, and we just started putting it together.
Yep.
Right. Now, Your Eyes, we've known that as a live staple forever and ever and love it. But that is like that is it. I love the lyric. That's or back then, I guess, was our revenge song. Our who's this bitch gonna throw that jive at me? You know, another great lyric. I don't think I got it exactly right there, but
No, you were close enough. We get the idea.
Laying that jive. Laying
that jive on me. Who does this bitch think she is? Laying that jive on me.
I know. Great riff though. Great melody.
And the ending. Didn't Phil? Phil suggested, "I'm gonna get my way, your eyes, your eyes. I'm gonna get my way." That was Phil's idea, and isn't that when we all pulled over? On we were caravanning to a gig, and Phil was with us, and I think this is the way it went down. And he somehow, it was like everybody pull over. And he said, "Look, here's what you got to do on the end of that song."
And we stood on the side of the road and sang the parts.
Pretty sure that's
what was
happened.
An epiphany. Right on. Had to pull
It's
over.
been decades ago, but I think that's what happened.
And that's one of the songs that, you know, Kenny sang this part on the end of it, this really high part that just floored me, dude. Just floored me.
Of course.
Nice.
And he's a humble motherfucker too.
It does speak volumes to the music that these songs were known before they were put on a record, just from seeing you guys live and just from our local radio picking up on you guys here locally.
Yep.
I mean,
we were fortunate, man. We were really fortunate between the radio station and all their folks and the fans that came to see us. We were really, really fortunate.
Again, Daniel Brunty kicked the door open for us.
Yeah, we were
that afternoon.
Yeah, we were kind of embraced by all this whole conglomerate.
And then KNC started playing.
Yeah, KNC.
Yeah. Well, I used to live in Wilmington for a little bit of time, but I remember when leaving WHSL used to fade out into WQDR about Clinton.
Oh, right.
Mm-hmm.
And but you guys were on WQDR constantly. Yeah. And then just based on that airplay alone and word of mouth, you know, it's kind of like what happened to Van Halen in their neighborhood back in their heyday. But you guys, you sold out the Dorton Arena, you know, the historic Dorton Arena there. I've seen Rat in that building. I've seen Loverboy in that building. I saw the great PKM.
We sold it out, and we had only been together a year.
Wow.
Yeah, so that was quite a feather in our cap, and it was, you know, there were a lot of people that helped with that show, lots of other bands, but especially a guy named Ray Carroll, who was a club owner around here and really believed in us, and he was actually one of the promoters on that show.
Yeah. Now I've also seen you guys at the fairground just outside, probably 500 yards from the Dorton Arena, out at dirt track on the fairgrounds.
Yeah.
You guys played out there with a band called You said it the other day. Lukey Owens and Revolver. Yeah.
That was up on the roof of that building that was in the middle of the racetrack. We were up on the roof. Remember that shit?
I don't remember.
Yeah, you guys rock.
Kenny, tell them I'm going to pee. I'll be back. Coffee.
Pee Wee will be right back, ladies and gentlemen.
I
remember that.
Yeah, a lot of clubs. The Attic,
Music City,
the
Charlie
Switch,
Good, the Switch.
Charlie Goodnights.
We played at the
Mad
Pier.
Monk, the Pier. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Gosh. Oh,
yep, absolutely.
Holy. Yeah.
We have a new person here. Two Tall Women, Betty Sale. She says hello to Kenny.
Hey.
From Michigan.
Welcome, Betty.
Hey, Betty. Good to hear from you. Thanks for tuning in. Happy New Year. All right.
Yeah, I saw you guys over in Hillsborough, and that's not too far from here. Opening up for Joan Jett and the Blackhearts.
Yeah, at the Daniel Boone Amphitheater.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yep.
Let me show you guys this real quick while we're waiting on Pee Wee to get back, and then I'll show you these picks later. But let me show you this. Speaking of that show,
wow.
Yeah. Tidal Wave Production.
What was it? Did that say 950?
Who's that? Tidal Wave. Was that?
It said on the thing. Look, Tidal Wave Production.
950. You must have been
Chandler.
Hobson and Chandler. Yeah.
Wow, you must have been front row. 950.
Yeah, man.
General admission at that place.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tidal Wave Productions was our sound guy and his pal. That's who.
Ed Hobson and Robbie Chandler, who were really instrumental in us getting off the ground, man. They supported us from day one. Day one, they supported us.
They loaned us some bread, and we bought some gear. Suddenly we had a truck and a trailer.
Yeah, and Ed bought an 8-track reel-to-reel recording machine. And we went to Robbie Chandler's house, and that's where we did those original demos.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Wow.
Now, the next song is another great song. Another I Can't Stop that we've loved since the early 80s, since the first album. Yeah. And again, that is one of your vocal on it.
Yeah. Once again, it's because I was the only one that could sing that high and that loud. That was most of those lyrics belonged to Phil Gardner on that song. He had the general idea of that song, and we just took it and ran with it. But man, for guitar guys, the intro to that song just kills you right off there.
Yeah.
I think we had the chorus.
Yeah.
We would just play the thing round and round, and all we had was the chorus, and then he phoned in some lyrics.
Yeah.
And that's Pee Wee took the ball and ran.
Yeah. Good lyrics on that. If I had good sense, I'd beat it out of town. Yeah, man. Love it. Gosh, I'm so glad to have this. And those of you who don't have this, the links are down below. You can get this on CD. PKM Legacy, it's not even a year old now. So let me ask you about this next song, because this next song, we've known this song forever and ever also, and I heard this on WQDR. I distinctly remember hearing this on the radio, but this song, it's not as straightforward as like I Can't Stop or Give Me a Call, but it shows different shades, different styles, and play it cool,
Yeah.
Tell me about that song.
That was our Police influence. We were, at the time, Kenny and I especially had been listening to the Police, their first couple albums, a lot. Man, I thought they were that and AC/DC. That's what we were listening to for like 6 months. We were listening to those two things. So that was kind of our ode, our nod to the Police. The whole halftime reggae sort of feel. That was our nod to the Police. And the other part was, just a rock pop song, the up-tempo parts. But I always thought that was a cool song. Yeah. And it's just so dynamic anyway.
It's kind of like so lonely, so lonely.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it shows different. It kind of reminds me, what's the final song off Guns N' Roses' Appetite? What's that song? Gosh, dog it.
Not November Rain.
No. Anyway, but it's the song shows different sides of you guys, and just by him saying that, Kenny, I've always kind of guessed that you were a Copeland guy, your style of drumming. I'm not a drummer, but the open hand style rather than the traditional, your style, it's a lot going on. Kind of reminds me of the fella that played drums for the Romantics a little bit.
He's great.
Yeah, he was great.
Jimmy Marino. Yeah.
I'll tell you what, to me, the thread that runs between Kenny and Stuart Copeland is that they're both not just drummers, they're both musical. You know what I mean? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
They both play in a musical style. They're both listening to everything that goes on around them. And they're both marvelous timekeepers. Of course, Kenny's nowhere near as tall as Stuart.
Yeah.
Do you still use Gretsch drums? Or is that
No? I switched to Sonar for a long time.
Okay.
And by the way, those white drums that I had in PKM, the Gretsch, they're floating around.
In fact, Bill Evans has.
Oh, Bill Evans has them.
Yeah.
Oh, he does. Okay.
He's got half of the
He's
kit.
got half the kit.
Yeah. Bill Evans has half of that kit.
Yeah.
Anyway, then I went to Sonar for quite a while, and lately I've had some Ludwigs that I really like.
Oh, cool.
So yeah.
Plus, he's got this old Slingerland set that sounds amazing.
Yeah.
Radio King set.
1948.
Whoa.
They sound amazing.
Yeah.
Tony, that song was "You're Crazy" by Guns N' Roses.
No, not You're Crazy. What is the?
Oh, You're
Rocket,
Crazy.
I'm thinking of Rocket Queen.
Oh, Rocket Queen. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know either song, so
yeah,
you guys.
it's just a song that has different elements in it. That Bill says, don't forget to mention about the Noon to Moon jams. Yes, Scott Lake Pavilion in Benson, just under Raleigh. They had those for a number of years. We saw, gosh, you guys more than one year.
Cheap Trick, Kicks.
Cheap Trick, Blackfoot, the Outlaws. Who else?
I think they had the Greg Kinn band one year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
And plus, Doc Holliday did those shows. Nantucket did one or two.
Doc Holliday, Nantucket, Sidewinder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All those folks was hollering.
Absolutely.
You guys played a lot of other bands and shows, especially with Nantucket. AC/DC, Kiss, Cheap Trick, Foreigner, Boston.
Yeah. Mother's Finest.
Mother's Finest, which is you guys love them, right?
Oh yeah. Were you not familiar with them?
Not so much, no.
Okay. Go back and get Another Mother Father, and what was the first one called? It was just called Mother's Finest, right?
Yeah.
Man, the first two records will kill you. And they they never captured on record what they were like live. That was the most powerhouse band you've ever seen in your life.
We did
Yeah.
a show on them.
We did
AC
a Mother's Finest
That's
show
right.
here. Yeah, Mother's
That's right.
Finest, they were here on the circuit. We've
Yeah,
seen them a few times.
AC/DC and Mother's Finest might be the two most powerful live rock bands I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, they
And
were
great folks
big.
too.
Mother's Finest.
They're still going.
Yep, of course. You got Sidewinder. They were big. The Voltage Brothers. I remember them.
Voltage Brothers, yeah.
Remember them guys?
Yeah.
They had horns. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Well, I will be right back.
all right, sure. We speak about the local rock scene back in the day, Pee Wee, here on the show sometimes. And this wasn't LA or New York, but we had it happening around here. You guys led the way. I'm gonna ask you this before we hop back into these songs. So, as great as songs as these are, and they are great songs, absolutely wonderful songs.
Thank you.
On the radio, you're building momentum. You got a local cult that's happening. You got a lot of rabid little rock kids like me running around, little middle schoolers, PKM fans, but that's how you do it, like that, And so while AC/DC and Van Halen and Ozzy and our other rock heroes are putting music out and going on tour and being, you know, successful, we expect that all of our bands that we like are going to be successful as well.
Yeah, that ain't it's just not the way it works, dude. Not the way
Yeah.
it works. There's so much involved there. It's a business. It's called the music business. It's like jumbo shrimp. Great oxymoron. You know what I mean? And in that realm, you had to deal with the business side. You had to deal with radio airplay, just all these different things. And if you weren't lucky enough to have everything fall in place, you weren't going to be a Van Halen. And you know what? That we never set out to be worldwide rock stars. We set out to make music and share it with people. That's what we set out to do. And as far as I'm concerned, that's what we did. Maybe not, as many millions and millions and millions of people as AC/DC did, of course. But those that we played for generally liked it and were touched in some way by it. And for that, we're grateful, eternally grateful.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you guys, these songs have held up without this. Even if this wasn't even here, we still listen and love this music.
Good, thank you.
All these years later, and it's a great part of our history in music. I grew up as a Kiss kid. My first concert at 10, Dorton Arena, Kiss. Yeah. Kiss kid became a Van Halen teenager, like that. And yeah, but you guys were a great part of all the wonderful, wonderful music that was entering my life. I had music at home that I was hearing from all kinds of music. I had the music that I listened to that I like, but I had all kind of wonderful music coming out at let's think. This is 1980 and 1981. Look around you in 1980 and 1980. That was a lot of kick-ass music that was in our ears. you know, AC/DC Back in Black, Fair Warning. My God, you start there. But a lot of great music came out in 1980.
Hell yeah,
And,
Earth, Wind, and Fire. You could go on and on and on.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
While we may not have become national or international rock stars, whatever that means, that doesn't dismiss the fact that we touched a lot of human beings, and for that I'm eternally grateful.
Yeah, it's all about the timing. I mean, you know, you either, you know, you're either ahead of your time or you're behind. It's
Exactly, and that's
one or
what
the
one
other.
of the record companies told us.
Oh, really?
Yeah. He told Kenny that.
Well, one time during this big buzz that we were all over the radio here, you know, the QDR was, they had to report what they were playing to some entity, I guess so that the charts could be figured out. And
Right.
they, you know, all the radio stations would report their playlists. And so after a while, the labels were going, well, what's this PKM? You know, so Atlantic Records came down and saw the switch and said, you guys are great, but you know, we're looking for like a flock of seagulls, bands like that.
Oh, they're looking for the next thing. They're looking for new wave and
yeah.
Oh,
he
okay.
he said you're a little bit late.
Yeah. Said if it was 5 years before now, or maybe 5 years from now, it would have been great. We would have signed you guys immediately.
Yeah, just right in the middle there.
It was just luck of the draw at that point, but we couldn't let that deter us. We were still going to go play and write and record. You know, because that's what we were destined to do.
You love to do it. You can't help where it happened and where you live.
Yeah,
you know.
exactly.
So what's another song you guys want to know about?
So Painting on the Wall.
Yeah.
Never heard it until Legacy.
That's an awesome song too.
Yeah. That was Mike's riff.
Yeah.
And I think those are Phil's.
I think those are Phil's lyrics.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll be right back.
Yeah.
Yeah, it sounds, it's progressive, a little progressive.
Yeah.
That sounds a little haunting, a little but it makes you wanna, kind of reminds me of Yes in a way, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
You know. But it makes you want to listen. You know, you can hear, I can have Yes on and it be a 6-8 minute song and it go like that. You don't even, because you get into the song. But and that's what this song does, that it starts and it pulls you right in.
Yeah.
But it's interesting though, because the style of music that I'm used to from you guys, this takes a little bit of a turn, a little bit.
Absolutely. That and you know, that came a little bit later in our arc, and we recorded that and about 3 others at the studio that's gone now, but it was in Chapel Hill. It was called TGS, and the engineer was really good. His name's Steve Gronbach. Yeah.
So that one and the second song on the record, Can't Have Too Much Fun, and one we're going to talk about in a minute called what's the
Passion Rules
the Night, which is, to me, that song, when we first were starting to mix and that song came up, man, I teared up. I really teared up because
we had forgotten about it.
Well, I'd never forgotten about it, but we never had the recordings of it, but I found them. Nevertheless, that song, if you listen closely, after the first verse, it's Mike and I both singing, doing our best Lennon McCartney imitation of singing unison, and then breaking into harmonies. But when Mike first came on singing that song, oh man, I teared up. It just struck my heart. And I love that song because the drums only come in the middle 8 of the song. That's the only time drums are in it.
Yeah.
And it's a haunting song to me.
Yeah. Anyway, we digress. That's the last song on Legacy. So
No, it's the last song on this side.
Oh, is it?
On side,
Yeah.
This one.
Yeah, side 2.
Oh, yeah. Don't mind me.
Yeah.
What else, man?
Oh man, dude. Yeah, we finally get on CD. We get to hear Forever America Loves Football. A live staple, a PKM live staple that we've been used to forever and ever and ever.
So that's one that Mike had in his back pocket for a while before the band started. He had that in LA, I think.
He had the riff, but I don't know that he had the lyrics because we wrote the lyrics out at the barn.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, but Mike had the basic guitar riffs for that song. And we started messing with it one night out at that tobacco barn we're talking about. And that's when we wrote the lyrics.
Okay.
Yeah, that is another riff that can get stuck right there
Good.
on repeat in your head forever. Yeah,
Great.
America loves, but yeah, gosh,
It's kind of punkish, kind of.
Yeah, I can
like
see
a punk
that.
song.
I can see that. Yeah.
Yeah, gosh, that we expect that. You know, you would go watch you guys, and you know you are going to hear that. Yeah.
Yeah, no choice. We only had so many songs.
Well, yeah. Now this is the next song. If you ain't here after, I asked you about this a while back, Pee Wee, and I thought it sounded like I had heard you guys play this live. You had, in fact, done this live before?
Mm-hmm.
No.
Yeah, we did. I don't know. Maybe we didn't. I don't remember. That song always reminds me of the Georgia Satellites.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
That kind of southern groove thing.
I don't know how long the song existed, but we didn't record it until the 90s. So that recording is from the 90s when Mike had his nice studio of his own.
Yeah.
And we did it then.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that it sounded like I had heard it in the past, but I wasn't sure.
No, Kenny might be right about that. We may not have played that song live. Well, in fact, we couldn't have because it was written after we had stopped playing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Passion Rules the Night is the last tune on that side there.
I think Mike wrote that by himself, didn't he? That shit was
possibly, yeah.
Speaking of studios, do you still have House of Soul? Are you? Oh,
yes.
Awesome! That's fantastic.
Just did an upgrade.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It's right there in the suburbs of Wayne, New Jersey.
Wayne, New Jersey,
man. That's great.
Yep. Yeah.
What about you, Pee Wee? What about Harry's Guitar Shop? Are you still involved with them? Or?
Oh no! I've been gone from there 6 or 7 years.
Oh, okay.
I just
But you record with Walt. You use his place to do stuff.
Right. Yeah. The guitar player that I was telling you is from the book. He has a studio at his house, and he and I play together in this kind of classic country band, Haggard and Bucko and stuff like that.
Big City?
Yeah. And so we've written and recorded some songs that are pretty dang good, man. Walt's a great writer, great lyricist, good singer, so we do stuff over there a lot.
Awesome.
And Kenny and I did a series of videos a couple of years ago with a friend of ours named Pete Petty, who is a magnificent guitar player, and we did a bunch of songs on videos. If you ever want to see those, man, there's a version of Manic Depression on there.
Yeah.
That is just stupid. In fact, all the songs that we did we did what, 8, 10, something like that.
Oh,
yeah,
something like
that.
Know,
the pandemic videos that everybody was doing.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So we did a bunch of those. And if you ever want to see those, go look at YouTube of Pete Petty and Friends.
Yeah.
Pete Petty and Friends. Okay.
Yeah.
He's got a YouTube channel.
Yeah. And he does some acoustic guitar stuff that is stunning. Pete does.
Yeah.
But Kenny and I did, like we said, maybe 10 different songs, 8 or 10 different videos with him. That stuff was.
What was the one?
That was a
Humble Pie
song. And we did free songs. We did all kinds of
High
stuff.
Voltage by
shoot, we did an AC/DC song also.
An early AC/DC song.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. If you're looking for trouble.
Live Wire.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. That song matches pretty well too. But we did like an obscure free song that most people don't know, called "Ride on a Pony."
Oh yeah,
it's funky as hell, dude.
And we did that country thing.
Oh yeah, we did a version of the Byrds song, "Mr. Spaceman." That's really good. And a friend of mine that plays with Walter and I in a country band named Alan Love, he played steel guitar on it. And he's a bad boy. He plays with Steve Warner. So in that
Mr. Spaceman.
Mr. Spaceman, that was good.
Nice.
So all this stuff is really good. A Robin Trower song, "Bridge of Sighs." And
wow.
Pete is a monster guitar player, and you'd enjoy him on this. And of course, Kenny steals the show. All his, his good looks and personality.
Can't help it. Tony, what else you got, bro?
Let me see. All right. So when we go to CD2, we find a familiar tune at the top of the list, "Hot Town Tonight." That's your opener. That's the first song that I think we ever heard out of you guys.
Yeah.
That was kind of a cool song. It was just a basic rock song.
Yep.
With funny lyrics that was a play on some of the stuff that Mike was seeing that were happening in LA at the time. It was right at the beginning of that metal LA scene, I think. And so these were all visions that he had of that.
So he came in and taught us that. He already had it, pretty fully fleshed out.
Yeah. Yeah, we heard that on the radio a lot, and seems like that was your opener live.
Sometimes it just all it depended on what we felt like.
Definitely, we knew it from our radio. "Hot Town Tonight." Yeah, great tune, man. Great tune.
I was at the miniature golf course in Sanford one night playing putt, I guess they call it. And they had QDR on all these speakers on these light poles outside, and John Lyle was the DJ at QDR on the nighttime. And he goes, "All right, let's kick some ass." And suddenly it was da 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 da.
Right on.
We're out there playing golf, man.
Cool.
And then the next song, "We Only Got Tonight," that was one of my favorites. There's just so much going on in that song, but at the same time, there's so much space. And then the vocals on that song, I always loved all the background vocals going on.
Yeah, that definitely. It. I can't recall you guys that song. I've tried to pound my brain since having Legacy, but I can't recall. We've only got to. It's a great um, slow song, doo-wop dance song, great tune, but I just can't put it in my brain. Are you guys ever
Oh
live?
yeah, we did that song live a lot.
Yeah. Huh.
Yeah. It was just a great. It's just an open and airy pop song. Once again, that's our Rundgren Raspberries influences coming out on that song.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. And then of course is Eleanor Rigby.
Yeah, that's a pretty good song.
Yeah. But we
talked about
got
that.
used to your version of it, not the Beatles version, but we got so used to you guys playing it. It's like I told Eddie last month. I said, "Well, Eddie, I was in the 7th grade at the time. Um, I thought Long Way to the Top was a Nantucket song."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that was an AC/DC song.
Yeah.
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 But at that age, you don't know,
Right.
Oh no.
No. Hey, I want to say hi to my Uncle Dan, who's in the chat.
Hey, Dan.
Hey Dan, hey Uncle
Where's he
Dan.
at? Ed.
Dan.
There he is. Hey, Dan.
Yeah. Humble Pie was awesome, dude. Really awesome.
Yeah, they were fantastic.
So the album that came out when I was in the 8th or 9th grade, Rock Erotica, there is no song called Rock Erotica on it. We always sometimes album names are just album names for whatever. Doesn't have to have a song on it of the same name, but it wasn't. But now there is a song, Rock Erotica.
Well, that song was recorded when we did most of the Rock Erotica album. We couldn't, and we had to cut a couple of songs because at the time you could only put like 21 minutes on each side of an album. That's all you could put on there. Otherwise, if you went over time at all, it really cut down on the sound quality, the fidelity of the record, and the first thing you would lose is all the bass response. So that's why that record was one that we cut. I wish we hadn't, because that song rocks right out of the gate, dude.
It was all cut at the same session.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, and we didn't know any better. Did you play that live at all?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Taking it to the top.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And the version that's on Legacy, right, it's the stereo mix because we couldn't find the 2-inch multi-track. Isn't that right?
No.
Oh, you did mix that one?
Yeah.
Okay, never mind.
There are some of the songs on Legacy that we didn't have the multi-tracks for, that we had to lift off other sources.
Yeah, like the version of Eleanor Rigby is right off Rock Erotica.
Yeah.
But we had to remaster it.
Yeah. I said a second ago that Hot Town was the song that QDR gave us first. It was not. It was Long Night.
That's correct.
Yeah, Long Night was the
I
first.
didn't want to correct you a while ago.
Yeah, no, it just seemed. But Long Night was the first song. What I do notice is it's about the ending. It's a slightly different ending where it goes back to the slow part, but there is no vocal there. I need a long night. Like it was on Rock Erotica. That was a little vocal at the end that's not there on this. So maybe it was an alternate take on it.
No, it's just a remix, and we did what we thought was best, because actually on the first version that was released, there was a piano part on the end that I played, but you don't hear it now.
Yeah.
Just didn't feel like it was necessary.
Right.
Had the mute button going on.
Yeah.
Right. Breakdown. We knew that one live. And that was a live staple. I can't now. I understand. I think, well, why weren't all these songs on Rock Erotica back in the day? I'm sure just to keep the time down and the songs you had it was painstaking to eliminate some of these damn songs.
Yep, absolutely.
It was, man. It was a lot of thought and arguing went into this, and we just had to decide what was best at the moment, because we certainly couldn't afford to do a double album at that time. We just didn't have that kind of money.
Yeah, right.
And this shit is not free. doing this is not free.
Yeah.
And those were real studios, except for a couple of things.
Right.
Yeah.
What else you got, man?
All right. So the last songs on the album, Keep Falling.
Yeah, that's another song that we wrote and created the same period as Painting on the Wall and Can't Have Too Much Fun and that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's a pop song. It's just a pop song. It's got, what I feel like is just an infectious chorus. It's just so simple. So you're talking about singing along or whistling a tune. To me, that's just what that is.
Whose vocal is that?
That's me.
That's you. Okay.
Yeah. That's another one of those that the lyrics were basically Phil. Phil was about 95% of the lyrics on that song.
Yeah. Yeah, that sounds familiar. It does sound, it almost, to me, I get the sense of like John Waite, or even
John Waite's great, man. He was great.
even maybe it sounds to me, and you guys, maybe a lot of viewers aren't going to know what I'm talking about. You guys are going to know what I'm talking about. It sounds a little reminiscent of the Connells.
I don't know, because even though I know the Connells and they're all friends, honestly, I've never heard a Connells record.
Yeah, it sounds vaguely
I couldn't make that.
reminiscent.
I could neither make that comparison nor deny it.
Yeah. Yeah. Interesting though to see these sides of you in these new songs. You know.
You're some multifaceted brothers.
Yes.
You guys are. You guys are. Not just meat and potatoes. You got veggies too.
Not many, but we do have some.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a smoothie.
So you did the a Larry Williams song, Slow Down.
Most people think that's a Beatles song.
Oh.
But yeah, no, it was Larry Williams from 1959, I believe, 58.
Yeah. And the Rascals did a great version.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah. Yeah.
And who else did that? Somebody else did that song. I can't think of who it was right now. No, we did it. Oh.
How ironic that it's fast paced.
Right.
I know. Yes, and then the last song on the album is kind of an interesting one. I've got a few questions. Will You Need Me? it goes from slow to fast and
no, it's all the same tempo, but it's just dynamically, it goes from like pianissimo to quattro fortissimo. So it goes from really soft to really loud. That's what that means. All that.
It kind of sounds like in the softer parts, Pink Floyd.
Sure.
Yeah.
I hear Pink Floyd. And
it's a song that Mike and I, we were on the way to Greensboro, I think it was, to a gig. And Mike and I were in the back of the van, and that's when we wrote that song, on the way to the gig. Yeah.
All right.
I think you were sleeping.
I'll take your word for it.
But yeah, that's what we did that. But yeah, it's a. It was a. You know, I tell people all the time, this legacy record, in the recording and remixing and remastering of it, nothing was re-recorded. There are no click tracks involved and no auto-tune. So no click tracks involved. I defy 9 out of 10 drummers to play that song and play it in time that slow. Most drummers cannot do it. Just cannot do it. Most people can't play that slow and keep that groove going. So I'm really kind of proud of that one, man. And it's such a big, it's such a big emotional sounding song to me anyway.
Yeah. Well, it goes from the softer parts, and then it all of a sudden it goes to like the Scorpions, like bam.
That's right.
It smashes you in the face.
Yeah. But yeah, great way to end it though. I'm getting used to these new songs, and thank you for those. But it is such a treat to be able to listen to all these great songs that I've listened to now for over 40 years.
Great. Thank you.
Yeah. And I have it on CD.
And thanks to these newbies like Eddie there.
Yeah. I can't wait for this to get to my home and listen to it.
Yeah.
Hey,
it's been shipped.
Well, when you do get to listen to it, let Kenny and I know. Tony knows how to get in touch with us.
I will.
Let us know what you think. I'd appreciate that, man.
Absolutely. I mean, all I've pretty much seen of you is the Live at the Attic stuff,
right?
Which was fantastic, by the way.
Thank you.
But
that was done by a friend of ours named Steve Boyle.
Yeah, great job. Great job. So, what are you guys up to nowadays? So, are you, Kenny? Are you just doing the studio thing, or?
I do some of that, and I'm in a handful of bands in the New York area.
Oh, good.
There's a singer-songwriter from Boston, Sarah Borges. Do you know her name?
That sounds familiar.
Being from Massachusetts. Yeah,
she's awesome. Man.
Yeah, it's only 100 and something thousand, 300,000 people.
Yeah. She's got several albums out. She's
Sarah Borges.
Sarah Borges, yeah, man. And we tour some. We're playing on the it's like roots rock and roll stuff. We're playing on the Outlaw Country Cruise coming up.
Awesome.
There you go.
You know, Tony, that was a question of mine. I was going to ask Pee Wee. Is his nickname really spelled with a P apostrophe O-U-I?
No, that was.
Who did that?
Well, I kind of did. Kenny and I went to a radio station somewhere in Texas or somewhere to do an interview one morning on air when we were with Nantucket, mainly because none of the other guys would get out of the damn bed. And I had my beret on. And the guy asked, "Oh, so your name's Pee Wee?" I said, "Yeah, it's a French name, like P-O-U-I." And somehow it got back to the guys at D. Markley Strings, and they did all these picks up with the name spelled that
That's
way.
great.
Oh, that's cool.
And then when we got road cases, a guy that worked for us got the logos put on the road cases, and it had P
It did.
UI on his bass cases.
Yeah, it's
Funny how things like that start, you know, and they
yeah,
just stick with you.
there was a guy at D. Markley Strings who became a great friend and fan. His name was Mike Renwick. And he got that whole thing going for us. So we never had to worry about picks. They would send, they would send us like 8 or 9 gross of picks at a time every couple
Wow.
of months.
Yeah.
And
Wow.
They had sticks too. They made them great drumsticks.
And they would send the strings and all this stuff, but they would send all these picks. I said, Mike, what are we going to do with all these picks? He said, throw them in the audience. So that's what we did every night.
Mm-hmm.
I must have thrown away 3 dozen picks every night, at least.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yep. And we got them.
And Tony got him.
And then about 10 or 12 years ago, one of the guys I was working with was messing around on the interweb on eBay, and he said, "Hey man, have you seen this?" And some guy had these picks, Pee-wee PKM picks, on sale on eBay for like $12 a piece, $20 a piece, or something like that. And I was thinking, God, where's my cut?
Yeah, right. No kidding, huh?
Yeah. So it was great.
I have a PKM mic around here somewhere. I hope I've searched all week, and I'm sad that I can't show you it. I'm gonna put word out right here and right now. If there is somebody watching this broadcast, if you have a PKM mic guitar pick,
Bill Evans,
that you can send me, there is a email address down below. It says trivia winners email. God bless you. If you can email me and find me someone a PKM mic guitar pick, because I'm still looking. I'm gonna probably spend the morning looking as I unload the stuff from the show and the desk. But yeah,
then you can show us your pick.
There you go.
it. That's it. So
Touché.
if anybody has an extra or knows where I can get one, point me in the right direction. Trivia winners email down below. Please get in touch with me. Thank you. Thank you for that. Yes.
So Pee-wee, so you're still involved with Big City, correct?
Yeah, I do that, and I play in this other band called the Wannabes. A really good band.
Oh,
with Jason Patterson plays drums. Jason was in Cry Love and in COC, and those. Jason's great, and a great friend too. And we do a lot of classic rock stuff, 70s and 80s rock stuff. And it's a really good band. So I do that. I do Big City, and then I might do a session here or there for somebody.
What about Monkey Wrench?
Now we actually, Walter, the guitar player I was telling you about from Boston,
Monkey Wrench.
He was it was a 3-piece thing that we did for a while. He and I and a friend of ours named JD, Jeff Dennis is his name. He's the drummer. Another Kenny Soule protege, as is Jason Patterson. To all these guys around here, Kenny is just, I don't want to say he's the god, but he's the man. That's who they all emulate,
Awesome.
But we did that for a while just because the 3 of us weren't really doing anything.
Now here's the obvious question: was that a Foo Fighters kind of tribute kind of thing, or?
Not really. Although we did do a couple of Foo songs.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. No, the name was just something that I think my wife came up with it, and she had that logo and stuff and that goofy looking thing. But we did not do Monkey Wrench. We did a couple of other Foo Fighters songs, but we would do all kinds of stuff. Bonnie Raitt and Joe Bonamassa. We were all over the place just because all 3 of us could play and sing.
My Uncle Dan says, he loves Nantucket, apparently. He said Sleigh Ride, Mountain, and Leslie, and Felix.
Yeah, Nantucket Sleigh Ride was a Mountain album.
Right.
Yeah.
And then he thinks Wannabe is an awesome band.
And they're good guys, and it is a good band. Everybody can play and sing. There's those Gretsch drums.
Yeah.
Ah, there they are. And Bill has some of those.
Yes, he does.
He does. Yeah.
These images are coming to you from the PKM Facebook fan page. So you Facebookers go over there and check it out. PKM Facebook fan page.
And leave a review.
A lot of cool stuff over there.
It's phasing like hell.
Be careful, Tony. You're going to get a copyright charge.
I know. I'd love to hear your eyes right now, though. Love to.
It don't take much to keep me happy. It don't take.
All right.
Nice.
Gold, man. Gold.
Fantastic.
Oh,
All right, Tony. Anything else you need to know?
Let me see. Well, I think everybody, if they want to order this CD, you can get it on vinyl too. There's 2 links down below. You scroll right down, order this CD Legacy. It's a 2 CD. There's a link for you there if you want to get it on vinyl. The vinyl sounds fantastic, they say. There's a link for the vinyl too. And to just a wet your whistle so you don't have to scroll through YouTube. If you want to see PKM live at the Attic, there's a link under that for you too for after the show. While you walk your dog, you can hear the guys at the Attic. Yeah.
Nice.
And speaking of walking the dog,
is that the one that with Mark Farner at the beginning, doing an intro for us?
Yeah.
Yeah. He's a good guy.
He's right though. I mean, in my mind and in my heart, these songs and what you guys meant to me and my friends at that time in our youth as music and rock fans, you guys should be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. You are in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in my book and in our books here. And like I told you guys in the green room, there's some buds of mine who are great PKM fans. We've seen you guys many. One particular fan in particular, not here with us anymore. I wish he could see this tonight. But yeah, you guys have had quite an impact on rock fans here for people about my age. And I'm just shy of 60 now, I can say.
Still a youngin'.
Thank you. Thank you.
just the pulp.
Tony interviewing you is like me interviewing Aerosmith.
All right.
Oh yeah.
You know,
this show tonight is definitely as much. This is why we do this show.
Correct.
So this band, the bands that we cover and the moments in time. When you ask Mike, what are you going to do with all them guitar picks, and you give them to all these fans, you toss them out in the crowd in between licks and songs and such, and you never know how they have a great impact on young rock fans.
Great.
Absolutely.
That means that we have a legacy. You see what I did there?
You did.
I did there.
Hey, all right.
Yeah. Ed, have you got anything else, bud?
No, I just want to, in summary, say that you guys have fantastic music, and I can't wait to hear this double CD. I can't wait.
Great.
And
Great.
I've got that anticipation like I did when I was 13, 14 years old.
Nice.
Excellent.
Well, feel free to do a review of it on our fan page.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Or at the very least, you can at least I can't speak for Kenny, but you can get my number from Tony and let me know what you think. I'd appreciate it.
I will.
Good, bad, or indifferent. I would appreciate hearing from you.
I will. I thank you so much for the great music.
No problem.
Yeah.
Well, guys, my dog definitely needs walking.
Yeah.
Yeah, mine too. Guys and girls, thank you so much for watching. Please share this video out on your social media sites. Thanks for watching. We do this every single week, and we'll be back here next Saturday night. Show me your pick, 9 p.m. Eastern. Pee Wee Watson and Kenny Soule, thank you guys so much for.
Thank you, guys. We appreciate
Thanks for being here tonight, guys.
Great to meet you.
Thank you. You too.
Thank you.
This is absolutely this is the biggest show me your pick episode that I've ever done. Even if nobody ever watches this is props to me. I love you guys. I love your music. Thank you so very much for all the music that you've given me and us in my lifetime, all the great times, all the club shows. I never got a DUI ever.
Good.
The girl and all the all of that side of it too. They were fantastic times. We could talk about those times. But thank you for all the great live shows. I've seen you in indoors, outdoors, different types of um, places, all age shows, club show, and just you guys meant the world to rock fans here back then, and know that you guys mattered. You guys should have been one of the biggest rock bands of all time, and that's no fault to anybody. But those songs are great songs, and
Thank you.
they stood the test of time, and now they're redone and here. And once again, folks, there is your
There it is.
legacy.
Hey Tony, thanks for all the good words, man.
Yeah, we appreciate it.
Yeah.
You too, Ed.
And
All right,
thanks
you
for
got it.
having.
You got it, man.
Yeah.
All right.
You
Thanks
guys have a great night. Great to see you guys. Happy New Year. Hang around, hang out a moment backstage while we close the show out. Everybody, leave a thumbs up there on the video on your way out, and go visit the PKM Facebook fan page over there. And you Facebookers and Kenny Soule, Pee Wee Watson, thank you guys for so much music through the years. Thank you guys.
Our pleasure.
To the family of Mike Gardner, rest in peace. Guys, we appreciate it. We'll see you next week, everyone.
All right. Thank you.
Thanks, man.